Hello and welcome back to Focus Atlanta. Thanks again for continuing to watch. I am your host, Keisha Lanslin, and this segment we're going to talk with another author. I am here with Tony Keith Jr. We're going to talk about his newest piece. Tony, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. Good morning. Good morning. Hi, everybody.
How exciting is this? Okay, you start at the beginning. Give me everything. I want all the details. How did the book come to be?
How did the book come to be? There is a really wonderful story there. The truth is, I wasn't sure I was going to write this book until 2020, February 2020. Me and one of my very dear friends, another world famous author, well, I think another, maybe I'm claiming that, dear friend of mine, Jason Reynolds, and I, we were at a University of South Carolina doing some work around, workshops and talking to kids about writing and poetry. And he's talking about his life as an author. I'm talking about my life as a spoken word poet. And after every event, there was always a book signing. And I didn't have any books, but Jason always does. And so I'm used to just like sitting next to him, while people are in line. And this woman, black lady, gets out of line with her little beautiful black boy. He comes right to me and he says, "Where is your book?" Not, "Do you have a book?" It was like, "The book that you have, like, where is it?" Right? And yeah, and so it was almost like he like drew it out of me. And I went back to my hotel room that night and I was like, I gotta write a book about how I came to be a poet, how I came to be a black gay poet. Like, this boy might need this book. And that's kind of how it happened.
I love that. And you know what? So often I think authors don't realize who needs their work. You know what I mean? A lot of times
Yes.
They're doing it because they need it. They're doing it because, something is moving them to tell their story or the story if it's, not, that personal. But all the time, somebody needs it. Somebody needs that piece. And you stepped up to the plate. Look at you.
I did. I felt so moved in that moment. I was like, wait a minute. I don't know if there are any memoirs right now, at least at the time, that focused on how someone like me came to be. What if this little boy's questioning himself? What if there are other people who are questioning themselves? Like, I've got to, there's sort of this moment. I gotta do something. And so there was this call, but also it became a call for me, right? It was like, bro, you need to figure out how you became a poet. The title of this book actually came from a poem that I wrote over a decade ago. And the last line of the poem is, "And so the boogeyman became a poet," which is the epilogue in this book. And I realized as a writer, most of what I write is for me first, right? And so when I wrote this poem, it was supposed to kind of reflect on like how I was trying to cheer a friend up about a thing, but I kept that last line in there for a reason. And so when it came down to writing a book, I wrote it almost as if it was an academic essay, right? It was, how did the boogeyman become a poet? Tony, how did you get to this place of being a first generation college student, kind of coming out the closet and discovering poetry is your defense net, your weapon, right? Your arsenal, right?
How words can be your power. That's what I see it as, on some level. How words end up to be what you need to get through. And, for somebody, it's different stuff, get through, again, coming out of the closet, get through dealing with your illness, get through, you know what I mean? It could be,
right.
Oh, I love it so much. I just can't stand it.
And what I've included as a special treat for readers is, I don't know if they can see it, but the handwritten poems that I wrote to myself as a kid, I photocopied them, and there are examples of them in this book. And so people were able to read the poems that I wrote to myself when I was a kid trying to figure it all out. Right? My parents have never seen them, like no one. And so the world now sees how I became a poet.
Oh my goodness, I love it so much. I can't stand it. Well, now I can't get you to close out then without giving us the website, because the website will have all the details about where we can get the book, where we can share the book, how we can share the book. Give me everything. Tell me everything.
Yes. So first of all, the book is available anywhere that books are sold, including online retailers. I always say I appreciate if you consider purchasing from your local independent bookstore first. But you can find me, www.tonykeithjr.com, or on any of the social medias at Tony Keith Jr.
Thank you so much for writing it. Thank you so much for listening to that young man, because you could have taken that experience and moved on and never thought anything else about it, but you moved into what you were supposed to be doing, and so I thank you for that.
I received that. Thank you, sister. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, guys, take the opportunity to go to the website, learn a little bit more, get the book for you and someone you love. You never know how it's going to speak to them. It speaks to you in one way, but it might speak to someone else in a totally different way. Please provide that gift to as many people as you know. Thanks so much for tuning into this segment of Focus Atlanta. We'll be right back tomorrow.